Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mega Game Cast. My name's Ryan Shepard. With me, I've got Drew LaPointe.
What's going on, peeps?
Cy Cuddy.
How's it going, everybody?
And we're here to talk about Hitman. Well, specifically, Cy's here to talk about Hitman. The new Hitman came out. Hitman, I guess we're going to call it 2016.
Yeah.
The first episode, or part of it, came out, the $15 pack that gets you, what does it get you, Cy? It gets you 2-3 missions?
It does, Ryan. It gives you the introduction pack, as in the training modules. It gives you the first mission of the campaign mode. It gives you a bunch of other challenges for that mission, and there is some exclusive content. Like one of the missions is called the Sarajevo 6 for PS4.
Oh, I did hear about this. Yeah.
Oh, so that's an exclusive mission just for PlayStation 4?
I wouldn't so much as call it a mission as I would. Well, I'd call it a mission, but it's not a new level, like a new
environment.
Okay.
Okay.
It's in the same environment as the first mission.
Okay. And is this first mission takes place in Paris?
That is correct, Ryan.
Okay. And this training mission, is that the same thing that was in the beta?
It is.
Okay, so that
So in other words,
I
I had to play the beta again. Yes, it was the fake yacht, and you had to go to Cuba, just as you did in the beta.
Now, those are those prequel missions, like when he first started his career?
Yes, that's correct. These are the prequel missions that take place 20 years earlier when he's first being recruited by the agency.
Wait, including the Paris one?
No, the Paris one is not part of it. The prequel, the beginning, the introduction, and the tutorial levels take place 20 years in the past.
Gotcha.
When Diana Burnwood, once again making her another appearance, first recruits Agent 47.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Paris one, when does that take place?
The Paris one takes place in present day, and this becomes evident, at least in the final cinematic sequence, because they make a few references to events that have already happened. So It takes place within, if not in the present, then a couple of years ago, at least.
So after Absolution.
Yes.
Because, big events did happen in that game.
Right.
Yeah, well,
specifically...
Spoiler alert, you killed Diana.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was trying to yeah.
You did this as a sting mission because to root out corruption, I guess is the best way to put it, within the agency. Now, again, I use that term loosely because this is a assassination company, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean,
I knew that shower curtain was hiding something.
Oh, the shower curtain. Never mind.
Dude, that shower curtain was probably bulletproof or something.
More than that ass, that's for sure.
No, actually, he just hit her in a flesh wound spot.
That ass. That's just his flesh wound, right? So, how is this, Cy? How do you feel about this compared to other Hitmans? Value-wise, what do you think of this new Hitman?
Well, it's very early, Ryan, but so far I am liking it. It does present some of the same great material that we've seen other Hitman games do. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's still multiple ways to get rid of your target. There's still various amounts of assassination methods that you may use. Mm-hmm. And this time, the story takes place in present day. The agency hasn't changed much. They're still going after targets that are considered morally corrupt or have done things that are aberrant. Now, keep in mind that this doesn't make the agency, as it has with other games, any more morally reprehensible, because they are still killing people and they are taking money from it. But let's talk about the intro, Ryan. This game, I said, takes place in the present time, and there seems to be a mysterious player in the background who seems to be forming some sort of conspiracy. But we'll get more into that later. This first mission takes place in Paris during a fashion show. Your targets are two individuals. One of them a fashion mogul, and the other one, who's his girlfriend, is is a former model who also runs an information agency that sells government or business corporation secrets to other buyers. They have also highlighted mass killings and other sorts of assassinations, or at least provided the funds for them. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, which he always does, is to go into this heavily guarded area and find ways to take both of these targets out. Now, keep in mind what this game also has, which I don't remember in previous pasts, is that with the multiple ways to assassinate them, there are also multiple hints throughout the game, or at least throughout the level. By this, I mean, if you listen to the people talk, like pick up on information, like where these certain targets go, do they have a certain weakness? Do you see any flaws in their ability?
Yeah, basically it allows you to figure out a way to kill the targets, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, like I said, there's a multitude of different ways you can poison their food.
Yeah,
and
like,
not just the targets themselves, but like one of the guys has a bodyguard walk with him all times, but you see him take little bites of sushi. And because the bodyguard looks mysteriously like you can actually poison that fish, and somehow when he's puking his guts out, restrain him and then take his uniform. Yes.
So, just to be clear, I haven't played it, but I have seen extensive video coverage of it. And one thing that struck me was the size of this level is bigger than probably anything I've really seen in a Hitman game before.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Is.
They're saying the levels are bigger than anything the other games have put out.
Do you think they chose to put in this hint system because the levels are so big?
I think so. No, I think so, Ryan. I think that's one of the reasons, and I think they just wanted to give some hints so that you're not walking around all over the place. Although you could still easily find yourself with enough time to do so.
I'd have to see this hint system because Absolution has a hint system too.
Well, it might be similar.
Like you go into instinct mode and it highlights things that are interactive that you can use.
It still has that, but this hint system's a little different.
Yeah, you hear people talking like, what they're going to do and like where they're going to go. Like obviously they're changing, like they're just living, they're doing their thing. So, I mean, like you said, you can poison the guy's food. In Absolution, you could poison people's drinks.
Right, and you can still do that. Like
So,
I said, there's still the same methods in this game when it comes to assassination.
Yeah, so from what I understand, it's basically tutorializes you through the mission. Like
It does.
You go here, there. It's like it shows you an exact path from beginning to end if you follow them from beginning to end.
And keep in mind, that doesn't mean it makes it easy. Far from it, because like the previous games, there are difficulties, specifically with the fact that this current mission has a boatload of security throughout.
And I heard a really large crowd. Like really large.
Nope. Extremely. This is again. It's made to be a fashion event. It's a fashion event, like a Victoria's Secret model type event.
So there's a big crowd watching the models on the catwalk. There's people mingling everywhere.
Yep.
And does the performance hold up with all those characters on screen? Because I know Assassin's Creed suffers from that sometimes.
It does, but
Hitman seems to be better with that.
It does. Well, here's the thing with Here's the only downside I think with that. The load times is something I criticize because it takes a while for the missions to load up.
Okay.
And that includes loading a mission up. Like if you fuck up and you get the automatic saves, it takes a while to load it up.
That's been an issue lately. A lot of games have had long load. I'm playing through the Division, and the Division has very long load times too.
Actually, I think Hitman has longer load times than the Division.
Oh man.
Oh jeez.
Because with Hitman, it's for each.
Well, it's
mission,
not really a competition.
Right.
Long load times are long load times.
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird since like these new consoles are supposed to be that much more, powerful.
Yeah, well, it's also these games are also a ton bigger too.
No, I know that, but
no, there is.
They have to load all of that. All those high textures and stuff like that into memory.
Yeah.
I remember when Bloodborne came out, people were criticizing that.
Wicked,
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
And for a game like that, that's kind of frustrating. But
yeah, because
from what I understand, they've taken care of it for the most part.
Yeah, they ended up patching it, I guess. But it was like, because, that game, you're going to die no matter what.
Yeah.
And like every time you'd die, you'd have to wait like 30 seconds. It's like, dude, you know.
So one thing that I wanted to talk about was one of the things that at least struck me with Absolution was an almost heavy emphasis on combat. Like it had a system where you tagged people and took them out, and they've taken that out in this. I remember in the beta, you only took like a couple of hits and you were down. Do you find it kind of too bad that they took that option out of it? Because that used to be one of those things in Hitman that
So you're talking about the point shooting stuff, right?
Yes.
not specifically the point shooting, but that was one thing that was in Absolution.
Yeah.
I'm talking more about the choice between going in guns blazing or doing it stealthy. Because I remember way back with like Hitman 2, you could take that option. I mean, you were getting friggin' heavy machine guns in your arsenal and all sorts of stuff like that. And from what I can tell, this new one doesn't allow you to take that option because you can only take a couple of hits before you go down.
Well, I think let me say this. You do have to, even though you still do have the same weaponry, it goes back to highly suggesting, and this is with all the other previous ones too, that you take the stealth approach and make it look like you're completely invisible.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how they want you to play the game, but what Ryan's saying is the option has always been there to play it against the rules.
Right. And again, well, I think they have eliminated that, but the other thing is that if you decide to take that route, you use that gun, you make sure that you're able to cover and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to so if you want to take that route, make sure you have a good barrier to stay behind.
They added cover in Absolution too.
Yeah.
But also, let's also not forget the fact that you have so many guards. I wouldn't recommend it in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it might maybe just this mission they released, they really just want you to focus on the stealth and all the different ways to assassinate, and maybe these new missions that come out, they'll give you more of a combat
Yeah,
focus.
it was just I noticed in the beta specifically that you were very fragile.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
Literally like one or two shots and you were down.
Maybe because people complained in Absolution that you really could play it as a cover shooter.
Right,
if
yeah,
you
and that
wanted
was
to.
actually something that I didn't specifically enjoy about Absolution was the fact that you had that point shoot system and stuff like that. It didn't feel like Hitman, even though I do sometimes like going guns blazing into a place. But that really wasn't, I don't know, it just didn't really fit.
You have the Division for that, Ryan.
Yeah.
In Absolution, actually, there were some missions in the game where it required you to shoot the room full of guys down. Like, there was some legit shootout levels in that one.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. They were going for something different. Like, that storyline for that game, anyway, Agent 47 was being hunted down the entire time. So, it was kind of, like, weird how they tried to make it you're assassinating targets, but you're also being hunted. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It seems like they're going back to basics more with the new one.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I think it was Blood Money that seems to still be everyone's or most players' like favorite or
it's
Hitman.
Between Blood Money and Hitman 2 would be mine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess Absolution did not allow this. I guess they brought back you can choose what weapons to start the mission with.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
You were able to do that in Blood Money and stuff like that, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. I believe you could do that in Hitman 2 as well.
Yeah. I believe Absolution's the only one where they took that out. So I believe they brought that back.
I remember doing a whole mission, specifically, I think it was in like St. Petersburg or something like that, and I had to go get a sniper rifle, and I had to do this, and I had to do that. So maybe you couldn't start each mission with what weapons you wanted.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. We definitely look into it.
But I remember Blood Money. Blood Money was good. And
Yeah.
then Contracts came out, and that one
Wasn't that like a remake of the first,
it
more
was,
or less?
It was a greatest hits,
Yeah, yeah.
basically.
It was a greatest hits with a new
Yeah.
story. It showed that in the beginning, Agent 47 got shot. He slipped, and then he was remembering all of his greatest assassinations from the beginning.
Okay.
While he was
He was carrying groceries up the stairs, and
Yeah.
he took a tumble. And
All
of a
those
sudden
people I've killed.
yeah, hits his head, and then it's this huge flashback of all of his contracts.
Yeah.
So part of what they're doing here is, $15 for what you're getting with this intro pack, and then $10 for each mission after that. And it seems like
Wait, how much after that?
$10 a piece for each mission after that.
So, all right.
And when they first announced this format, I looked back at these other games and how many missions there were in these games.
Yeah.
And like Absolution has something like 20 something missions.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the other ones were, but that's the general length of these games.
So if they did it that style, it'd be like over $200.
Yeah, it would be over $200
So-
if they say took Absolution, carved each mission out, and sold it separately.
Yeah.
At the same time, I understand that these missions are bigger and longer, and there's more to do in them, but that all depends on whether or not you want to go back and replay these games, replay these missions.
Actually, they highly recommend that, Ryan, because for each mission, you have to what you want to do is try to complete as many challenges, which are ways to assassinate and ways to infiltrate as possible. Because then they want you to play the mission again, and you have different points of drop off. So like after I beat the first mission, I went to play the Sarajevo 6, and they gave me the option of hiding, because I beat certain challenges, hiding a poison needle, and you can hide other weapons as well in one of the drop-off areas that was unlocked. So that's what I did. I dropped off my poison syringe. I went to the area, picked it up, infiltrated, and took out my target.
Okay.
So, like, you beat it once, and then they give you different ways to play it again after
Yes,
you
they
beat it.
do. And they actually even highlight the ways, too, just to see what they're going.
Well-
I will also say something else we haven't touched upon. The cinematic sequences are perhaps... graphically, they're impressive. Like, they're some of the most impressive I've actually seen ever in a Hitman, and they're getting up there with the game, and maybe even any other game as well.
Yeah, the game looks really nice.
It is.
I think Hitman's always, like, for their era, every time one's come out, it's always pretty much set the bar visually. I don't think visuals have ever been an issue.
Yeah, no, they take their time to make all the characters look good and
The environment.
do good camera
Although I
framing and
wasn't-
stuff like that.
Although I didn't quite feel the same way with Absolution. I didn't think that quite set the bar. I think this one does, though.
And you know, it goes hand in hand with the kind of smaller scale environments too, so they can add more detail in without having to worry about like a big open world or something like that.
Well, at least,
although
yeah.
in Hitman 2, I think there was one mission where it was a huge area where you were going through this snow like valley.
Yep.
And it was at night, and you were taking out these snipers and towers and trying to infiltrate this like Chinese castle or something like that.
Oh, right. It was the triad leader, correct? Who went
Something
to
like
see,
that, yeah.
To see after we assassinated his son, we went back to take out his father.
Yeah. So would you recommend this now, Sai? I mean, there's so many different versions to buy this game. What would you recommend? Would you recommend people buy the intro pack for $15, or do you think they should just go for the full experience for $60?
Personally, for me, I would go with I'm a Hitman fan. Like, I've been a fan ever since Hitman 2 came out.
Yep.
So for me, I decided just to get the whole experience for $60, and I would recommend that for all diehard Hitman fans. But is it worth it? I can't say, because I have to see the other levels first.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't know yet. It's hard to...
That's why it's so hard to
It's hard to decide.
recommend this. See, and the problem is if you go with the intro pack, you're paying $15, and then if you choose to do the upgrade pack, which gets you the rest of it, you have to pay $50. So you're paying an extra $5 if you decide to upgrade
Right.
later. And then, or you could just wait until January, I think it is, and they're going to release the whole thing on disc.
So you got plenty of options, apparently.
I wonder if that'll be $60 in January.
All right.
I don't know.
I do got to call you out on this one, Si. You said on the record that Firewatch you did not think was worth $18. But do you think this $15 was worth it?
Well, let's keep in mind, Drew, I didn't pay the $15. I paid the whole $60. But
yeah, but just think. But you what you played was $15 worth, though.
Yeah, how
So just
long
think
did you
of it that way.
spend in there with Hitman, do you think?
how long did I spend?
Yeah,
just
Blazing through the tutorials, because I already played them in the beta.
Right.
I probably played, about 2 or 3 hours. But I
Okay.
did a bunch of other missions as well. And there's still other challenges I can complete, like going back to Paris and taking out the other individuals as well.
Do you really feel like going back and doing those? Is that something you're like, oh man, I really want to go and do these challenges?
Not at the moment, but I
No.
think eventually yes, because I want to get more points and increase my my level. In
What
the
does
game.
that do? What does the level do?
Every time you complete a challenge, and it also every time you complete a challenge and you assassinate them, quietly, make sure it's only the targets and not the and not any innocent bystanders, you
Yep.
get points, and with those points, you level up once you accrue a certain amount.
Okay.
I'd have to show you guys just to check it out. But
What do the levels do?
I haven't figured that out yet, Ryan. Actually, I think it
$5 to figure out what the levels do.
I'll talk about that
So there's
more
no
once
like
I played it a
there's
little
no
more.
like skill tree or anything.
No, there isn't.
Do you unlock weapons or anything?
Yes, you do. You unlock weapons and places and points or places. Excuse me,
Because there
where
was-
you could drop them off.
There was challenges to
Okay.
complete in Absolution too.
Yes,
like
there were.
doing certain little things, and obviously, yeah, you would get deducted points actually for killing people that weren't your target.
And you still do in this game.
All right, so it sounds like they did bring a lot of Absolution into this new one. They just made it bigger.
But then in Absolution, what did you get with those points?
Nothing. Well, I mean, all right.
Is it just a score?
No, well, you would
like a leaderboard or something?
No,
like that?
well, all right. You complete little challenges. Eventually, you'd get more bullet resistance. Your guns would get better accuracy. Little things like that.
Okay.
You've unlocked.
Oh, so it was a little bit of like RPG
little by
stuff.
kind of, but you don't actually. It's not a skill tree like he said. Like you're not choosing the skills; they're just giving them to you.
Okay.
Like, and I didn't actively seek these challenges. A lot of them I just did naturally.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of them should be like that, so you get a taste of them and see if you want to, like achievements or trophies. It's like
Yeah.
some of them should unlock naturally, but if you want to go the extra mile, you can put the time in.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know a few people
Yeah.
who puts the time
Yeah,
in.
exactly. So it sounds like we'll be returning to this once Chapter 2 rolls out and seeing if Chapter 2 stacks up.
This could be a monthly conversation right
Yeah,
here.
no, we'll have one of these every month for who knows how long. And then we'll come back in January and see if it all holds
Yeah,
up together.
Ryan and I will have the game by then.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for our Hitman discussion review thing.
Anything else you need to add, Si?
Anything
Closing
else?
thoughts?
Like Agent 47, I just stand there stoically and say, no.
All right, see you guys.
Later.
Later.